Now what we're doing with our order is we're reordering things manually, but if you want to go to change that from custom, which is the setting we are using, to the newest first or the oldest first, then you can make your story unfold as the holiday happened. So that's a very quick way of changing the order. Or alternatively, you could just click quick reorder and that will just juggle them around for you. So there's lots of different ways to change the way the slideshow is presented. But let's scroll back to the start now and let's start to think about fine-tuning some of these transitions, because there are transitions that are quite cheesy. So let's hit play again. This one here wasn't too bad as it jumps through to the next page. There we go. But it is a bit pixely and digital, so let's say we do want to get rid of it. So to change that, what you do is select the transition and then click on this option here and choose something else. Now the one I quite like is a nice gradient wipe because it's quite gentle. So let's choose that one and then let's go back, hit play again, and this time when we get to here we'll get a gradient wipe from the first shot through to the second. There we go, much more delicate and gentle, and it blends the shots nicely together. There's another dissolve there now, so that's quite good. If you want to see what the transition is, just select it and you can see it's called a fade. So I'd call that a dissolve from my video days, but that's called a fade in Photoshop. So fade is a good one as well. It's not too cheesy and it doesn't really date or distract from the photograph either. So it's a good idea to play through the whole slideshow and check out the cheesy transitions, replace them with something that's less offensive. I'm not going to do that in real time now because it would take ages and we'd run out of CD space, but what I'll show you now is how to add movement to shots like this, because this is a portrait shot. We've told Photoshop not to crop it or not to do a zoom or pan because we'd lose some important details there, but we can actually pan things manually or crop things manually too. If you just click on it, for example, you can zoom in to crop it so you can actually show the important areas yourself. So that is quite a useful tool if you do want to get rid of those black bars. Alternatively, we can go back out to the full size again and we can actually add a digital zoom or pan, just like using a rostrum camera. Oh, and while we're here, it's a very handy little tool here that you've got, which is Auto Smart Fix. So if you had a shot that wasn't quite right, let's have a look and see if we can find a slightly underexposed shot like this one. Then if you click on it like so, you can go to Auto Smart Fix and it'll try and sort out things like the contrast and the exposure. It might even boost the colour a little bit as well. So it's trying to fix the photograph. Yes, definite improvement there. So you don't even need to edit the shots in Photoshop's organizer or the editor. You can wait right till the end here in your slideshow and fine-tune any problem slides. So let's just click outside of the image to deselect it, like so. And now we can actually go back to our shot at the beginning there. And instead of cropping this one, what we're going to do is do a digital pan. Treat it like a rostrum camera. Now this is really cool. If you tick this, you can say, well, let's actually start at the top of the shot, and what we'll do is we'll then tilt down to reveal the boat. So it's like being a cameraman or camera woman. I think camera person is the correct term. So let's start about there, and then click on end, and we can either zoom out to reveal the whole shot, or we can just tilt down and show the bottom of the boat like that, and we get rid of those bars at the side by doing this. Okay, something like that should do the trick. So let's just do a little test now. Let's go from this previous shot here and let's do a transition and watch our digital pan down the shot as well. So here we go, we're playing through the slides and there we have our rostrum camera effect, which is very cool indeed. Now to make this a standalone slideshow that people can watch without you actually being there, you could add some text to various photographs. So let's just choose maybe this shot here, click on text, and then you can choose a different font to suit the slideshow style. Now I like this one because it's clean, it's not too tacky or cheesy, it's just a nice sans serif font. So drag that to there and we can then type in our text. So double click to get the edit text window and then we can call it something like Turkish Delights because that's where the shots were taken. You don't have a huge amount of control of the text in comparison to other text editors, but you can change the font and the size as well. So let's just change that down to about maybe 18. That's too small, of course, though bear in mind you could be watching this at full screen. This is quite a small monitor, so maybe take it up a little bit more to 24. I'm trying not to go out of the edge of the shot there because it look a bit messy if it's overlapping. So something like that should do just fine, and I can position that where I like, that it's actually easier to read at the top. Okay, so there is my text, and I could then go back to the previous shot, hit play, and let's just see what it looks like with that text dissolving through from this shot through to this one. There you go, there's a little caption, and of course you could add captions to all of the slides if you needed to.